Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and liberal Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson humiliated herself at the Supreme Court, and it was beautiful. Before we get started, guys, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I've said often that I think Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson doesn't belong on the Supreme Court, and here's the reason. She's got the qualifications. You look at the resume. She's absolutely got the qualifications to be in the Supreme Court. But when you listen to her, in her hearings when she was being confirmed, but also when you listen to her arguments, when she's hearing arguments in the Supreme Court, you listen to her questions, you listen to what she says in speeches, it is obvious that this woman, this Supreme Court justice, is less of a Supreme Court justice, less of a legal person, and more of a liberal activist. She belongs working at the ACLU or something, maybe be the head of the ACLU. But she doesn't belong on the United States Supreme Court because she doesn't really give a damn what the law is. That's not relevant to her. What's relevant to her is getting her way. Now, yesterday, the Supreme Court decided in favor of the Christian institutions that offer conversion therapy in Colorado. And by the way, this will affect the other 22 states, I believe, 22 or 23 states that have similar anti-conversion therapy laws. And they said that it violates the free speech rights of these Christian organizations to say they can't have these conversion therapy camps. Forget what you think about the conversion therapy camps. I support them because I'm a Christian. But forget that for a second. It's a matter of free speech. Imagine if you told the Muslims that they couldn't have a certain camp, or the Jewish people that they couldn't have a certain camp, or the Buddhists or whoever. It'd be a violation of the law. And I'd be here supporting the Muslims or the Jewish people or the Buddhists or whoever, because you can't do that. You can't limit the free speech and the free activity and the expression of faith of a religious group. Well, Justice Jackson, the only dissenter, two liberals joined in this opinion. The only dissenter was Justice Jackson, and as it is explained here, she completely ignored the First Amendment, didn't care about it, because she has an agenda. And her agenda, it doesn't include the First Amendment. The First Amendment is irrelevant to her because she's an activist. She's an activist, guys. And she doesn't give a damn. Does not give a damn about the Constitution. I want you to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
In an 8-1 decision, the Supreme Court ruled against Colorado's so-called conversion therapy ban, citing the First Amendment. Meanwhile, the court is now prepared to take up President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship in what will be a very high-stakes case. Here with more, Fox News legal analyst Jonathan Turley, Fox News legal analyst, best-selling author Greg Jarrett. Jonathan Turley, start with you. I think we're all going to agree here. The conversion therapy, while controversial, for people that have deeply held religious views, should they have the right to use that if they don't agree with the lifestyle of a child? Jonathan?
Well, what's ironic, Sean, is that Colorado has proven really a bonanza for the free speech community. They keep on trying to curtail free speech and getting these opinions that go in the opposite direction. Here, Colorado wanted to say that you couldn't go and speak to a counselor about these types of sexual orientation issues with your minor child. And the court voted 8-1 that that's a limitation on free speech. The unnerving aspect of the opinion proved to be the dissent by Justice Jackson, who would have just sort of brushed aside the free speech issues and treated all of this as conduct that can be eliminated or banned by the state of Colorado.
Yeah, Greg, your thoughts on this?
Well, I agree with Jonathan Turley wholeheartedly. And, you know, I think tomorrow is an equally important day on the issue of birthright citizenship, Sean. If you listen to the media, Trump's going to lose. I'm not so certain. I've written columns on this. The president does have a viable and credible argument that the 14th Amendment was never meant to include people who are here unlawfully. The mere act of setting foot on American soil does not confer birthright citizenship to their children. If you go back and look at the debate in 1866 over the Fourth Amendment, the sponsors wrote in a very important clause that says subject to the jurisdiction thereof. What does that mean? It's a condition of allegiance or fealty. That's especially important for the millions of illegal migrants who are here in the United States, living in the shadows, not paying taxes, not obtaining Social Security numbers, not even filing for taxes. They live in the shadows, and their allegiance to the United States is unknown, largely because their whereabouts are unknown. So I think it'll be an interesting debate tomorrow, oral arguments. I'll be interested in hearing what the justices have to say.
Me too. All right, quick, guys. Congressman, well, Mr. Fang himself, Swalwell, threatening the FBI with legal action.